Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we are doing another pick a card reading, this time asking who is your future spouse. I have done this pick a card reading 2 times in the past and it seemed to be a very popular favorite, so I'm doing it again. So take a moment to breathe deeply, relax, and ask your higher self, your spirit guides, the universe, whomever you'd like, who is my future spouse and what traits do I need to pay attention to and look out for? What do I need to do to bring this connection into fruition? And once you've asked that, just take a look at all 6 of these cards and select whichever one you feel most drawn into, the one you feel pulled to. Regardless of whether or not you like the artwork on the card, this is more of an intuitive pull. What I like to do is kind of visualize my higher self and see which card they point to. So we have card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have selected your card or cards, you know, can marry more than one person, you may skip ahead to your reading using the timestamps, or if you're interested in the other piles, you can watch through. Okay, group number 1, you selected this tarot card. So let's see who your future spouse is. They're being represented by the whale. Oh, so we have some water energy here. Very emotionally mature, maternal type of species the whale is. This is somebody who is not afraid to dive into the depths of their subconscious, into their healing, into the deeper questions in life. This is somebody who's not going to shy away from very deep, intimate conversations. This is somebody who, yes, can go to the surface and have lighthearted discussions and go out and have fun, but can also get very deep and very serious when it calls for it. I mean, just look at the background. We have the deep depths down here, and then we have the lighter, more lighthearted type of energies up here, and the whale is a spirit that can easily navigate going from both of those types of energies. The whale is also somebody who just has a lot of maturity, especially emotional maturity. This isn't somebody who's going to pretend like they don't like you at first, or they're not going to shy away from their feelings or hard discussions. They're not going to raise their voice at you or any of that nonsense. Like, this is somebody who's actually emotionally mature and understands that things like putting other people down, screaming, or trying to change somebody just isn't the way to go. The whale is a very maternal type of energy, so this is somebody who's very nurturing, very caring. They might be family oriented as well. Whether or not they want children is kind of beyond the point. They're more so like the type of person who wants to stick close to the people who they consider family, whether that's their blood family, their best friends. They might have extremely like long-term type of best friends as well, people who they've known for most of their life. And especially their romantic partner, like they treat you like family. So that is their deal. Very beautiful. Also, they might be the type of person in their friend group where all the people kind of treat them like the mom of the group, even if they're like a guy. Like, you might notice that they're always the one like driving people home and making sure everybody's fed, and you know, being the sound, logical one in the group who kind of might be surrounded by people who need their wise, caring energy, you know. So we also have creative blocks and perfectionism. This person might have the trait of perfectionism, which is divinely linked to creative blocks, because when you are kind of operating out of perfectionism and wanting to make sure that everything is picture perfect, it kind of prevents you from being creative, because the creative process involves making mistakes and getting messy and all that jazz. So this might be the type of person who may sometimes struggle to start new things because they overthink it a little bit and they want it to go perfectly. And so when it comes to your relationship, this could kind of mean a slower start to the relationship, a slower growth, a slower momentum, because, you know, they have that trait of overthinking. They have that trait of perfectionism where they don't want to do anything wrong. They want to make things go perfectly and go swimmingly. It says, permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. I feel like through the relationship, there's just something about you, group number 1, that's going to teach them they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to produce perfect results. They don't have to overthink things. Like, they're allowed to make mistakes. They don't have to, you know, handle everything so perfectly all the time. Like, they can be bolder in their choices. Because group number 1, I feel like you're the type of person who isn't afraid to really put yourself out there and to go for your ideas, and you know that making mistakes is a part of the creative process and a part of the growth process, you know? Like, people who get to really great places in life, they don't get there by taking the safe route all the time. Then we have creative blocks. If you are an artist of any kind, you can offer all work to the divine, making it God's alone. I offer this for the highest good to benefit the planet. Release me from any blocks and restrictions. May this serve all who need. Your person, you know, it's interesting. They have an interesting energy where when you meet them, you would think that they might be the artsy type, the creative type, really into music and fashion and all that stuff, because there's just something about their energy that's very watery, very creative. But then you actually get to know them and talk to them, and they're actually not good at any of those things. This might be somebody who has their third eye a little bit shut down when you first meet them, but through the relationship, they will open themselves up to deeper spiritual wisdoms and creativity and different ways of dressing, you know? That's the effect that you're gonna have on them in this relationship. So I feel like you kind of help unlock those traits within them. So let's see what else we have here. We have we have Virgo and we have Aquarius. This could be their sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs, or they could just be heavy in their chart. Or even if it's not heavy in their chart, they can give off these vibes, especially when you first meet them. So let's start with Virgo. Virgo is a earth sign that is very caring and very much, you know, has similar energies to the whale, where they are very nurturing to the people around them. Also, perfectionism is a very Virgo trait as well. This is the type of person who has to have things in their house a particular way, even if they don't appear to be very organized or very clean. Like, they have their way of doing it, and that's how it's gonna get done. And they have these like weird qualities about them where, like, they have to make their bed a certain way, and if somebody else does it, it's just like, oh man, I can't handle this. Like, a little bit OCD, but not like in a clinical way, or maybe they could be, I don't know. But they're also very, very, very caring people. They're like the biggest healers of the zodiac. And again, they have that motherly energy of like just making sure everyone around them is okay, taken care of. And this person gives a lot to the people around them that they consider family. Then we also have Aquarius. Now this is the sign of weirdos, okay? This is somebody who's definitely an individual, and they might be very forward thinking. So it's very rare to come across somebody with heavy Aquarius energy who is more on the conservative side, more on the old-fashioned side, because Aquarius is like the sign of forward thinking, forward movement, the future. So they might have some more liberal or open-minded beliefs or ways of going about things, okay? Or they have like a lifestyle choice, or how they approach relationships might not be exactly traditional, okay? So you might not have the most traditional relationship with them, or they just might not be the most traditional person. You know, they might have some characteristics that your grandparents might disagree with. But to be honest, the best people in life do, okay? The best people in life do. So let's move on. We have expanding consciousness. Yeah, you are really going to open their third eye up when you meet this person, okay? So I would say if you're spiritually minded, which I think you are because you're watching a tarot reading, don't let that get in the way. So if you meet somebody who's really great, but they're just not as spiritually minded as you are, or their third eye's very shut, you know, they're very logical thinking, I would say don't let that be like the end all be all, like I'm never talking to you again. But also at the same time, don't like sit here and think that you're gonna change them, because that's also not good. But I think that you're gonna give this person a lot more viewpoints in that area of life. Like, you're really going to open their mind up, but also they are going to open your mind up to different ways of operating as well, to different ideas, different culture, different hobbies, different things. So it's a nice energy exchange here where we are both growing and learning from this connection. Then we have food and cooking. You guys can really bond over food and cooking. So for example, a favorite hobby might be trying new recipes, going to new restaurants, cooking for each other, baking for each other, things like that. That's going to be something you really bond over. If you're ever at a loss for like what to do with somebody, that's also a good idea, so keep that in mind. We have success and we have no need to worry. Yeah, okay, so there is this energy and feeling of worry between you two, because you or them, especially them, well, they definitely are, you might be an overthinker, a worrier, and so I think it'll take some time for you guys to really trust that there's no need to worry. You guys aren't going anywhere. It will be successful, because the thing is, I don't know if you're like this group number one, but this person is the type of person to form long-term connections. Look back to that whale. Whales have families, and they are devastated when they lose their family members. They mourn. I don't know if they have funerals. I don't know if they're one of those people or creatures, but like they choose long-term relationships over strangers, right? That is this person as well. So like, it's almost like once you're in, okay? There's no need to worry about them leaving you all of a sudden, no need to worry about them sabotaging this all of a sudden. Like, this is somebody who's in it for life, and they have the emotional maturity and capacity to where they're never going to do anything that will intentionally hurt you, like lying, cheating, stealing. Like, they're not that type of person. So these are the qualities you should really look out. I mean, honestly, everyone should look out for those qualities, to be honest, when it comes to a future spouse. But they're really gonna like radiate this energy of comfortability, preferring long-term connections over strangers. They might not even really like meeting acquaintances. So, and I feel like this is gonna be a little bit more slower moving in the beginning, to where it's like, as you're getting to know each other, it might feel a little bit slower than your ye old typical dating person. But like, this is the type of person that like, once they're comfortable with you, like, they're gonna show you every aspect of their personality. You're gonna feel so comfortable around them. So you just kind of have to get through that beginning phase of this connection, where they're so focused on like doing the right thing, saying the right thing, overthinking, that they might come off as a little awkward or a little bit just kind of like self-sabotaging a little bit in that way, you know, because they're just a very much thinking type of person. All right, from the angels, we have release your ex, group number one. Let go of the past. The person we are talking about is not your ex. Oh man. Or anyone from your past. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. What a strange message to come right after release your ex. We're gonna have to get some clarification on that. And then pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Okay, so all of these cards are giving me a very big message that your angels are warning you that if you came into this reading with the intention of finding out if your ex or that old lover or that person that you're in separation with is your future spouse, the answer is no. And guys, to be honest, I've been tarot reading for a long time. I've been doing readings for a long time. It's very rare that situations where you dated somebody or you were lovers with somebody and it broke off because of, like, you know, just either an unrequited love situation or a toxic situation, arguing, not getting along. It's very rare that those types of relationships come back together, okay, in a healthy way that's long-term. So I just want you to, you know, pay attention to the red flag. And look at that. I start shuffling. Look at that card. You see what that is? Death reversed. In order for this person, this lovely person, to come into your life, you have to fully let go of the past. I would even recommend, if you're into like witchcraft, to do a like a burning ritual where you really intentionally let go of the people from your past who have shown you their red flags and who you can't stop thinking about, okay? And it might take some time to heal from that, but like, and guys, if you're in this situation where like you cannot stop thinking about somebody from your past, even though they showed you the red flags, and now you're watching pick a card readings wondering like, oh, why can't I stop thinking about them? Are they gonna come back into my life? I would recommend to you, and this is gonna sound so simple, but literally stop talking to them. And that's going to be very hard for some of you guys, especially if you view this person as your twin flame, or, you know, you really thought you had a future with this person and were rejected. It can be really difficult to let that type of situation go, but like, this situation is going to come in more and more into your life the more you let go of this. The more you let go of your past, the more this person will, you know, get closer to you and come into your life, okay? Oh, we had two more cards pop out. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands reversed, which is my personal favorite queen, if we're being honest. This is somebody who is just, they have a career mindset, they're focused on them, on their success, on their own little journey, their own little path in life. You know, it's this queen, it's her house plants, it's her cats, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's taking care of herself. Now, in reverse, I feel like this is kind of telling us the story of how you two will meet, okay? You're both kind of on your own little paths in life, doing your own little thing, and you know, you might meet in an intentional way by, like, I don't know, going on a dating app or something like that, or, you know, intentionally walking up to each other and saying hello and, like, with the intention of romance. But, like, otherwise, what's going on in your life is that you're both kind of focused on your own thing, both trying to build your success up with this card in reverse, okay? It's almost like you haven't quite achieved the career success that you want, and maybe they haven't, and so you're both kind of focusing on that, whether that's you kind of climbing the corporate ladder, building your own business up, going to school, or they're doing that, you know? You're both, one or both of you feel like you're not quite where you want your career to be, and so there's a big focus on that. We also have the Six of Pentacles reversed, which shows a lack of give and take when it comes to some relationships in your life. And I feel like Spirit's really trying to illuminate that and really trying to get you to pay attention to the relationships where you're pouring so much energy into and they're not giving it back. Especially this person over here, okay? You're over here worrying about them, you know, are we getting back together, watching tarot readings, analyzing their astrology chart. Like, I don't know what you're doing over here, but is that person doing the same thing for you? And if they're not, it's time to let go of that and to stop pouring all your energy into that person, and start pouring it back into yourself, like the Queen of Wands reversed is saying. And when you do that, that's when this person will come in. Okay, that's the timing of this situation. Is there anything else that needs clarification, Spirit? Let it come out now. Let it come out now. Yeah, I think, honestly, I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna leave the reading there, because, you know, if I feel like we got a good understanding of who this person is, how you're gonna meet, and when this is gonna come in your life. Also, we see some activities that you guys are doing here, lots of talks and, like, literally just talking about, like, philosophy and really deep conversations. You also are gonna bond over food, over cooking, so that's really fun, guys. It seems like a really nice person. They have their quirks, okay, but they seem very grounded, very emotionally mature. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye. Group number 2, you selected this card right here. It's a little dark. I don't know if you can see it properly, but let's dive into your reading and see who your future spouse is. They're being represented by the Elephant. Wow, again, a very mature, divine feminine, fiery person here. So group number 1 had the Whale, and I feel like the Whale and the Elephant are two very similar creatures. They are both very matriarchal, very intelligent, and really value the importance of family, of long-term connections. The Elephant is an animal that really sticks with their family, really bonds with the people closest to them. And so, you know, it's like they're gonna take their time forming that close connection in a very healthy way, but once you're in, you're in. You're not going anywhere, you know what I mean? So that's really great. And also, I don't know, I view the Elephant as somebody who has a lot of emotional resilience. This is somebody who might have been through a lot in life, honestly. You know, might have gone to great distances, gone to great lengths to really become the person that they are today, and to really just learn from their trials and their tribulations. You know, this isn't somebody who's had it easy. This isn't somebody who has had everything handed to them. You know, they had to walk to the life that they have now. They had to build everything up for themselves, and I think it's through the fact that they haven't had everything handed to them that they really became this emotionally resilient person, you know? And, you know, I don't know why I'm getting the message that they might have not have grown up in the most emotionally stable and comfortable and loving environment, and so they really had to teach that for themselves. But it's almost like they were born as a naturally very kind and loving person, and so because they haven't had that love and that emotional availability and support for them, it makes them extra nice. It makes them extra loving, because they don't want anybody to go through the same trials that they've been through. They don't want anybody to feel like how they felt before. So it turned them into like this loving, emotional powerhouse. Very resilient person though. And I think this person is very mature and aware of the fact that they give a lot in relationships, which is why it'll take time to really get to know them and open up to them, because they don't just hop into relationships willy-nilly. This person is very, like, they choose their friends wisely. They're an intelligent person. I think in the past they might have not have chosen friends wisely. They might have been too trusting of people, because we see here they're like missing a tusk. And, you know, elephants are known to be hunted for their tusks. So I just feel like, you know, but they're very gentle creatures. So it's like this person has been too trusting with people in the past, and that has caused them to get burned. And, you know, they're wising up. But like that kindness of their soul still remains. It's just, it's gonna take a little bit longer to get there, you know? We have compassion. Yeah, they're a very compassionate person. I definitely pick up on that. And impatience. Okay. So this compassion, I just feel like this person wants everybody to have a good time. They want everybody to feel loved and heard. And I feel like this is the type of person where if you're in a group of people and they notice that somebody's not talking that much or not being listened to that much, like they'll look at them in the eyes and ask them questions and make sure they feel included. They have lots of compassion. They might have a soft spot for animals. Okay, and also I don't know why, as I'm visualizing this person, I just keep seeing this visualization that you're going to meet this person through friends or through your friend group, or you're going to be friends with this person before anything romantic happens. I don't know why, I'm just seeing that, okay? As you pray each day for greater compassion, a new self is born, drawing new people and experiences. Dear Lord, help me feel ever-deepening self-acceptance. May I see myself as you see me. Oh, yeah. This person wants everybody to feel good, wants everybody to feel loved and heard, and they might, you know, be somebody who likes to give compliments and receive compliments. I don't know why. Again, I'm just seeing words of affirmation as like a love language here. No particular reason why. That's just what I'm seeing. And I feel like this almost, I feel like, is something that you, group number 2, can do if you want to bring this person closer towards you. Like, they are emotionally intelligent, but I also feel like they have strong boundaries now, okay? Because I think in the past they might have connected themselves with these energy vampires who just use them for favors and for this and that, and, you know, as their personal compliment giving machine, you know, when people are very insecure and they need constant reassurance and validation from the people around them, even though it drains the living heck out of them. So this person's been through a lot, okay? So if you're one of those people who are insecure and need constant, like, validation, constant, what's the word I'm looking for? Reassurance, I would recommend working on that beforehand, because I feel like when you work on that and you become more compassionate towards yourself, it's really going to draw this person in towards you. And I think this compassion is where you both kind of fall in love with each other, because honestly, it's not that common to meet somebody who has the same compassion, the same love, the same giving attitude. And I feel like group number 2, the thing that bonds the two of you together is that you're both givers, you're both healers and lovers, and you're both people who probably have a history of doing so much healing work, so much pouring of love into the people around you. And maybe at times you both felt like other people were taking you for granted and not pouring that energy back into you. And so I feel like you meet each other at a time in your life where, you know, there might be some lack of trust going on here. Like, you both might be a little salty, a little bit like, will I ever meet somebody who gives the same energy and love to me that I give out to them? And it's like then you lock eyes with this person. It's like, oh, there they are. But we also have impatience here, and they are a fiery sign here, so Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. They don't have to be those signs, but they have a lot of fiery energy about them. Very warm person, wanting to warm people up, but also quite enthusiastic. They might be the type of person where when they get passionate about something they're talking about, they raise their voice, they get very animated and just full of life. Okay, but this says, my life is unfolding in divine timing. All delays are beneficial. I'm always at the right place at the right time. There is an element of impatience to this connection where I feel like one or both of you might be deeply attracted towards each other, but for whatever reason, it's gonna unfold at like a more natural pace, a more comfortable pace, and that might be like causing a lot of impatience for you and for them, okay? But it's almost like divinely held. Like you might both feel this deep burning passion and sensation for each other, but for whatever reason, spirit's kind of like creating delays or making this go at a more natural pace, okay? And it's because this is like big soulmate energy, I feel. And so when it's soulmate energy, you know, the universe is taking care of it and gonna make sure that everything is healthy, everything is going forward as planned, so that you don't lose this connection, you know what I mean? I think I moved the table. Well, let me move the camera over. Okay, there we go. So some signs we have are Capricorn, earth sign, Taurus. You were only supposed to get 2 signs, but you got 3 by accident. And Cancer. Woo, beautiful signs. So we have water, earth, earth. This could be their sun, moon, rising, or Gemini, or they could just have a lot of these qualities. So a Capricorn person is very... I feel like a lot of Capricorn placements are very much into their work, into their job, feel very passionately about their career path in general, or just might be somebody who likes working a lot. Also, I noticed that a lot of Capricorns are low-key artists, okay? They low-key have really good music tastes and really good taste in like art and culture, but like again, they're very low-key about it. And every Capricorn placement I know has a hidden talent. So this is showing me that this person has a hidden talent. They might be like secretly a really good singer or musician or comedian or something of the sort, okay? Like Capricorn is like the sign of hidden talent, okay? And then Taurus is also a really good sign for having a great music taste, great taste in food and in objects and fashion. So because these 2 signs came out, I really do feel like there is an element of this person where they have really refined and beautiful tastes. Like you might go to their house or apartment and they like really have an eye for detail. Like their plates might be handmade clay plates with like beautiful paint on them, and they might have, you know, tasteful decor, okay? They might prefer like high quality but nice clothes, you know, even if they dress very much in like a basic way. It's like they have like this attention to detail that's unmatched. And really, both these signs are telling me that this person has great taste in music, and that might be something that you bond over. You might share a similar taste in music, or they introduce you to music that you didn't even know that you would like, and then they end up being like your favorite bands and artists. So it's very interesting. And then Cancer, of course, is a water sign known to be well, depending on how mature they are, known to be very emotional and psychic. And so yeah, and we do see that deep emotions here. But the thing about Cancer is they have extremely deep, soft, sensitive emotions, and this is like the most giving sign when it comes to love and relationships. But the thing is, you're not going to get that energy until after a while. It takes a while for a Cancer and arguably a Capricorn to open up and really let people in to their true hearts and their true like vulnerability. But once you're in, it's going to be the most beautiful type of relationship ever, okay? So that's just how it works. Also, both these signs are very funny usually, so this person might have a really good sense of humor. Just something to point out, okay? Now, we also have out in nature and we have homebody, okay? So I'm reading this, I'm like, is this actually me? Are you guys gonna marry me? Because I have a lot of these things. But out in nature shows that this person might be a nature person. They might enjoy being outside or just going out in general. But like, here's the thing, since it's paired with homebody, it's not like they enjoy going out and going clubbing and going to bars and bar hopping and all that stuff. This is more so like, this is the type of person that would want to take you on a picnic or on a walk in the park, or literally just stay home and eat snacks with you and watch movies, you know? Like those are the 2 ways they like doing things. They might enjoy travel and adventure, but if they do, it's not like they are really into like these big social events and things like that. It's just more so like they like being in nature, they like going out in small groups, I would say, but they really love their home. And this is not a surprise because with Taurus and Cancer, these 2 signs rule over the home. So it's a pretty big deal there. And then this also isn't a surprise because we have 2 earth signs here as well. So, you know, very into nature, very into being out, but also very much into the home. Or, you know, we can combine these 2 energies as well. They might be somebody who's really into houseplants and gardening, you know, things like that, or like cooking with different vegetables and different types of foods, because technically food is nature. So we have Meditation brings answers, and we have opportunity. I don't know why. From this card, I'm really seeing that this person is somebody who needs their alone time. They like to have time to themselves to really think and reflect about things. They don't like making rash decisions without their alone time. So that might be something you have in common, or something like if you're the type of person who does not like that much alone time, you like to really be around people all the time, that might be a point of contention in this relationship, which might trigger that impatience we see here. But we see they're a very thoughtful person all throughout this reading, really. And then we have opportunity, which is interesting. I feel like through this relationship, it will open a lot of doors for the both of you, and I'm not 100% sure how that's going to play out, so hopefully we can get this clarified from the tarot in a little bit. And then the romance angels have to say, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Romantic feelings, your feelings are real and worth exploring. And let go of control issues. Yeah, allow the situation to unfold naturally. This goes hand in hand with the impatience card. I feel like, you know, one or both of you are probably going to try controlling these romantic feelings and this connection, and it's like this is in the divine's hands, so you're going to feel some impatience at the speed at which this moves forward. You know, you might already be feeling impatience, like, I'm getting older, it's time to get married, like I want to be in a long-term relationship, where's it at? No. And then this is saying, like, let's let these things unfold naturally. Like, let's just enjoy and go with the flow when it comes to our romantic feelings, and you don't have to have every single detail of this relationship mapped out, you know, like let the dating commence, let this commence, you know, don't try figuring out every single aspect of the future before you're ready, you know. So let's get some clarifiers here. I specifically want to clarify, dropping the cards, everyone. I want to specifically clarify what this opportunity card means, so let's figure that out. Why did opportunity come out for group number 2? Why did opportunity come out? Okay. I rarely use this deck, guys. We have 8 of Swords. This is a very dark deck, so don't mind the artwork. So the number 8 has to do with money. Swords have to do with ideas. So I feel like there's going to be some new ideas here that this relationship's really going to bring out within you, and for whatever reason this connection with this person is really going to trigger ideas that you might take into your life. And also with this card, this can show a different life path unfolding because of this connection. So for example, you might have always said like, oh yeah, I'm going to live in California and I'm gonna have this job and I'm gonna have 2 children and a dog, and like that's my life path. But then you meet this person, and for whatever reason through the relationship your life path changes, and it's not for the worse, it could be for the better. And I see you're like, this is kind of like the death of your life path, and you're going to keep an open mind and you're going to let this unfold naturally, and there's going to be a greater opportunity that is only going to be unlocked in your life through this person or through this relationship. So it's very beautiful. I don't like using this deck because of the artwork, so please don't judge me. You're the one that selected this. So then we have the Hierophant, which did come out in reverse, which is very significant. The Hierophant reversed shows a non-traditional relationship, or 2 people in a relationship that are non-traditional. So 2 weirdos, for example, okay, who have a life path that is not necessarily the mold, the stereotype, you know. And I would say like the stereotype would be like a normal heterosexual relationship with man and woman, you know, and they date, they get married, they have their career, they work for 30 years, they have 2 kids, they're so beautiful, boy and girl, and a dog, and a white picket fence, and then they retire, and then they die together, and then they live happily ever after, or whatever, or die happily ever after. That's not going to be your path, okay? It's going to be a little weird, a little convoluted. It's not going to be like everybody else's, but it's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so you and unique, and you need to keep an open mind about that, honestly. Like, free yourself from expectations, free yourself from just this idea of what a relationship is supposed to look like. Free yourself from trying to have all the answers here. I feel like there's a big spiritual component to this relationship of like not controlling it and just letting it unfold as it may, and exploring your feelings and approaching it from that place of exploring your feelings and just getting to know each other and just having fun and seeing where it goes, you know? I feel like that is a big aspect of this connection. Interesting. Interesting. We have the 8 of discs, so we now have 2 8s here. Again, 8 is the number of money. Oh my gosh, this tarot deck is so dark. This is the 8 of Pentacles. It has to do with developing your skills and, you know, really becoming your best version. So through this connection, you are honing in on your skills, becoming your best version. And I feel like for some reason through this connection, I don't know if it's because this person likes alone time or, you know, whatever, but I feel like you'll have a lot of time to really still enjoy your hobbies and your career when you're with this person. Like, they're not going to take up all your time. They're not going to try controlling you. They're not going to try just sucking all the life out of you. Like, they're going to let you do your own thing. And I think that's a very beautiful element of this relationship, you know? Like, one of my favorite things to do with best friends or romantic relationships is when you get to that point of comfortability where you can both like sit in the same room and maybe hold hands and enjoy each other's presences, but you're both kind of focusing on your own things. Like, you know, I might be reading a book and the other person might be I don't know, reading educational content or watching videos or something. Like, you know, we're both comfortable, we're both enjoying each other, but we still get to enjoy our hobbies. I think that is the true mark of a healthy connection, where you're not losing your individuality in the relationship. And I think this person really admires and likes you for your individuality, for your freedom, for your uniqueness. You know, that's what they find hot. So they would never try taking that away from you, okay? So thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye. Okay, group number 3, you selected this card, so let's see who your future spouse is. They are being represented by the Hawk Spirit. This is a good spirit guide to have. This is a good spirit to represent somebody. This shows somebody who is fearless, confident, bold, assertive, and they have a really good idea of the big picture in their life and how their actions influences others. The Hawk is somebody who is really good with decision making. Okay, this might be a manager, a business owner, or just a nice, strong person who is good in leadership roles, you know? They have high intelligence and an ability to kind of look at the bigger picture and not make dumb choices, you know what I'm saying? This person does give off a very assertive, confident energy, because the thing with hawks is, like, once they see their prey, they just swoop right in, you know? They don't care if it's like a poisonous snake. They don't think about all the things that could go wrong or missing. They just go after it with confidence, and it's from that confidence that they execute those decisions with such ease and grace and strength. So yeah, this person is definitely more on the assertive side, I would say. Then we have spaciousness and abundance. Beautiful. Oh, I love the word spaciousness. It says, "What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me up with enthusiasm." This person probably, I don't know why, I'm seeing this as they like to create a lot of space in their life, a lot of downtime. If you go to their house or apartment or wherever they live, it might literally be a nice open airy space. They might also have some air qualities to them, which is intelligence, intellect. We have like spaciousness, we have the butterfly, we have the hawk, all these wings and air. The spirit of air is very free, very free-minded, open-minded. And I feel like with this person, they might be somebody who you think that you can't pin down, you know? For example, in the past, they might have shown signs of not wanting a commitment or not wanting to be pinned down by anybody, you know? They might have enjoyed their singlehood. They might have enjoyed their freedoms. Okay, this person is very free. They're a free spirit. They're an independent spirit. Now, that's not just to say that they have commitment issues, that they can't commit to anybody. It's just like, at the end of the day, they are this free spirit. They do need their space, their alone time, to really just keep in touch with their individuality, and they like to maintain their individual habits and hobbies and career and friends and ways of doing things. Like, this is somebody who is healthy when it comes to relationships because they're not codependent whatsoever. Okay, they maintain their individuality and you maintain your individuality, and the beautiful thing about that is when you both maintain that spark, that passion for the relationship is never lost, okay? Because you're both still living your lives as individuals and still finding fulfillment in your lives as individuals, and then coming together to really share what happens and to share the new exciting things that are happening. When relationships become stale and boring, it's usually because the people have lost and neglected their sense of individuality, and everything just becomes the same old familiar. But when we have two people who are very independent, who do things on their own, who have their own things going for them in life and aren't afraid of space, that is when a truly beautiful relationship can happen, okay? So we have abundance here as well. Let me focus. Divine beloved, please show me how to feel deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. So one of the problems you might run into when it comes to this relationship is that one or both of you might have these feelings of like, I don't want to say insecurity, but more so like, oh, I don't deserve this person, or they don't deserve, or either they're gonna be like, I don't know if I deserve this person, or you're gonna be like that. Like, there's this sense of being rawly attracted to each other to the point where it's just like, how does this person even like me? You know? And it's because you're both really cool, you're both really awesome. So I feel like there is an element of this relationship that's really gonna ask you to love yourself and understand, like, you are deserving to receive great love. You are deserving to be with somebody who's wildly attractive. and also, guys, you're the only group so far where I've mentioned like physical stuff. So that shows me like a really strong physical attraction towards each other. So that's always great. But yeah, this connection is really going to challenge your lack mindset. And really force you to kind of get into that abundance mindset, you know, and to really learn how to receive love and help and support. And, you know, just let abundance flow into your life and stop trying to control everything, right? So the signs that we have are Gemini, beautiful, very free soul type of sign, yeah, and Pisces, which is very loving and emotional, and yeah, these are great. So they could have these signs as their sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or just heavily in their chart, or they just show these signs. We definitely see Gemini here. This person, I would be very surprised if they didn't enjoy traveling, if they didn't enjoy like seeing new things, experiencing new things, and always kind of like regularly updating their life, you know what I mean? Like regularly learning something new or having a new experience. There might be an element of like distance here, like you might be from different places in the world or not from the same hometown, because Gemini is kind of a sign of communication and newness, you know, that always wanting to learn something new, always want to communicate to someone new, and not necessarily in a bad way, like an uncommitted way, but like this is somebody who really has that free spirit, that free soul. And I feel like this relationship is going to be really great to bring out those qualities within you. And it's also like when you meet this person, it's going to force you to really look your insecurities in the face, especially if you have a problem with codependency, or in past relationships you really integrated with somebody to the point where you become the same person, you lose your sense of individuality, and the relationship becomes stale. If you struggled with that in the past, this relationship is nothing like that, but it's going to force you to heal. It's going to force you to really love yourself and understand, like, this person can be a free spirit and still love me. This person can be a free spirit and still come back to me at the end of the day. Like, I can still trust them. They're not going to lie to me. They're not going to do all those things, because the shadow aspect of this energy is somebody who's a free spirit and they have commitment issues and they're a cheater or whatever. But like the mature aspect of the sign is somebody who is a free spirit but is not going to do any of those things because they're mature, they're smart, they're intelligent, they're never going to want to do that to somebody they love, right? So I think it's quite beautiful. This relationship has so much potential to be amazing and to be one of those connections where you never really lose that spark. So that's really cool, but it will force you to really look at your insecurities and heal from them. Pisces is a wonderful sign. It's a very dreamy type of sign, daydreamy. They might be a deep sleeper or have very vivid dreams. They might be psychic. They might be very creative, have lots of creative ideas, or just, you know, very emotional, you know, very much water energy. So that's air, this is water. Water energy is very creative, emotional, psychic, spiritual, one of those things. So that might be an element here. We have growing career and falling in love. Ooh, these are two beautiful cards. Okay, because I like these together because these are like my two favorite feelings in life. Growing my career and falling in love. So this might be an element early on in the relationship that might be a bit of a struggle because one or both of you are going to be in this area of your life where you are trying to be career oriented, growing that career, creating abundance there. And so when you are in the process of falling in love, it might be, you know, something that you have to overcome, trying to balance those two things, maintain your sense of individuality. I think the beginning of this relationship isn't going to be the most pleasant, not in a toxic way, but in more so like this connection is really going to force you to handle your insecurities and learn how to maintain your individuality, you know, because this person might not be available 100% of the time. You know, they might be somebody who needs a bit more time for their job or their career, or they're going through something in life that takes a lot of their time. And so this connection will in the beginning kind of be a new experience for you because you're gonna have a lot more time on your hands personally. And I think in the beginning of this connection, spirit will not allow this relationship to move forward if there's any sign of codependency. So I would say like the more you maintain your individuality, your friendships outside of this connection, your goals, your, you know, whatever you're trying to work on, the more this connection will work for you and move forward, because the energy of this connection is two individuals coming together to really share beautiful, profoundly deep love. And this love is very pure because it's not going to be a controlling type of love, an egotistical type of love where, you know, you're forcing somebody to be a certain type of person so that your insecurities aren't triggered. Like, that is not this. This is pure. This is unconditional. Like, I love you for who you are and I love your individuality, you know? And so there might be a period of adjustment for you in the beginning of this connection where you are really going to face your insecurities head on. And yeah, like, spirit's going to only move this forward when you will not approach this codependently, when you will be in your individuality and in your power and in your self-love. Okay, so if you struggle with any of those areas of life, that might be why this connection is not in your life currently. We have trust. Yeah, again, this is going to trigger a lot of trust because this person is a free spirit, and you know what, people with trust issues have a hard time with free-spirited people because, like, yeah, they're out and about, they're doing their thing, they're hanging out with their friends, sure, but like if you have trust issues, if you have deep insecurities, like it's gonna be hard for you to be with a free spirit, but necessary for you to really heal those aspects. Okay, there's lots of trust here. And you know what, I'm really getting like a falconer's relationship here. People actually keep hawks, and the thing with keeping hawks and like doing shows with them or whatever is that they're completely free to fly away at any point. They're completely free, at least if you're a good bird keeper. They're completely free to go wherever they want. And there is a trust between the bird keeper and the bird where, you know, you trust that they're going to come back to you. You trust that they're going to return to their nest. And you know what? Even if they don't, oh well, you know, they're out there living their best free life. But like, I'm really getting a similar sense of trust within this relationship, within this marriage, that a bird keeper and a bird have. Like, you're both allowed to just be so individual, to be yourselves, you know, to wear what you want, to say what you want, to have the friends you want, to have your own lives, your own careers. And it's so beautiful. Like, I cannot emphasize how beautiful this is. And there's just such a profound level of trust in that is so beautiful. And it makes me sad that some people can't experience a relationship like that, honestly. We have get more information. There's going to be a lot of learning that comes from this connection. Lots of learning about yourself, about your triggers, about your insecurities, lots of healing that will go on in this connection as well. Also, I don't know why I see this as somebody who's very smart. Okay, somebody who has a strong mind. We have soulmate. Yeah, I totally got soulmate energy here. Yes, this is a soulmate. A soulmate is somebody who is a friend of the soul. You guys incarnate in lifetimes together. You might have actually, I don't know why I'm seeing this as a message. Before you came into life, you both probably agreed like, okay, we're gonna start a life and we're gonna end up together. So I definitely feel like there's soul contract energy here where you both decided before you were even born, like, yeah, okay, this is where we're gonna be born, this is what we're gonna do, these are the experiences we're gonna have, and then we're gonna meet here, and then we're gonna, you know, reunite, reconnect. I'm seeing that for this. We have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I love this card coming out for you guys because like there is such a cool energy about this where you always manage to maintain the passion in this relationship, and I see that in playfulness as well. There's a nice lighthearted energy shared between you two, and nothing is too serious and heavy in this connection. It's all very fun and free and light, and I think that's how love should be. And we have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Yeah, so like I said in the beginning of this connection, there is you're two individuals who have strong freedom and individuality. So at first it might be a little difficult to have these heart-to-heart conversations and really open up deeply about your emotions and, you know, resolve issues when it comes to insecurities and the dynamic of this connection and any problems that you're going through. If you already know who this person is, this is your sign that heart-to-heart conversations is what is needed at this time to bring about the most healing, the most trust, right? Gemini is also a talkative sign, so I really do see that you guys have wonderful discussions, and like I feel like you have wonderful discussions because you both have your own lives. You go out, you do your own thing, you have your own careers, your own friends, and then you come together and you just talk about it, and it's great. Whereas somebody who gets too enmeshed in their romantic relationship, they are basically each other, and there's not really much to talk about after a while, right? No, you guys are always gonna have something to talk about, always have that passion there. It's really nice. I like it. So thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you for the next one. Bye. Okay, group number 4, you selected this card, so let's see who your future spouse is. They are being represented by the Swan. So many beautiful, emotionally mature people out here. I guess that's the type of person who gets married though, right? Well, hopefully most of the time. The Swan is a very maternal type of energy. This is somebody who really does have lots of emotional maturity and grace in life. So this is somebody who, when they encounter a problem or a challenge in their life, they're not the type to freak out and yell and scream and throw a fit. You ever meet somebody who, like, one inconvenience happens and they get super frustrated and they don't know what to do? That's not this person, okay? They see a challenge and they're like, okay, let's solve it. Okay, let's just, you know, do it and learn from it. And, you know, that's like personally one of my favorite qualities in people. I cannot stand when some minor inconvenience happens and somebody has a full-on freak out and they're frustrated and they're throwing their arms. Like, no, grow up, okay? Like, I can't stand that. The Swan is somebody who's not irritable. They don't raise their voice. They don't, at least in a negative way, they don't, you know, throw a fit. They're very mature, they're patient, and this is somebody who's very comfortable in their emotions. And I think one aspect about the Swan that's something that we should pay attention to is that they're both a bird and they enjoy water. So they have that air element and that water element. Water has to do with emotions and air has to do with communication. So this is somebody who will communicate their emotions openly. They're not afraid to have emotional discussions. They probably enjoy talking about art related things like music and movies and art or any cultural thing like that. They feel pretty comfortable in themselves, I would say. This is, again, a very mature, very wise person. I would not say that they're particularly insecure. I mean, like, everybody has their insecurities, but this is somebody who is just honestly, you know, mature. Regardless of age, all right? Regardless of age, this is somebody who's mature. We have, and also very nurturing as well, and empathetic. The Swan is a very much like empath type of person who will get upset if you're upset. we have positivity. Oh, it can, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel grateful for something, even a tiny thing, or in the hardest situations. I love this about this person because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel like it's so rare to just come across somebody who is just positive, joyful, and happy. Like, I don't know if it's because of the area I live in, but I'm surrounded by people who always have a negative attitude, who always hate their lives, hate their jobs, hate, you know, the economy and the politics. But like, I feel like it's pretty rare nowadays to come across somebody who's just joyful, who just looks on the bright side and fills your day with light. I don't know. It's very refreshing, and I'm really glad that your spouse has this quality, because this is somebody you're gonna hopefully spend the rest of your life with, right? Would you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody who does nothing but complain and throw a fit at the minor inconvenience? Like, no. And I feel like this reading is particularly illuminating the type of person you do not want to marry. You do not want to marry that person that we just described. Marry the person who is okay with dealing with their emotions. They're not gonna throw a fit, they're not gonna scream, they're not gonna raise their voice. Like, they're actually an adult when it comes to their emotions. Very positive, uplifting, joyful. This isn't somebody who's constantly dragging you down with their negativity and with their pessimism. We also have true offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. I feel like this card is the path to how you're going to meet this person and get there. And it's interesting because I just like selected these two cards from this deck for each group, right? But in every group thus far, this one was kind of like one of their traits, and then this one was like how you're gonna get there. So this true offering card is giving you an example of how your attitude should be when you approach your romantic life. You might be feeling some frustration, you might be feeling like things aren't moving as quickly as you want, or you might even have fears of commitment, fears of, you know, reaching out and talking about your feelings. There might be some illusions in your love life if you keep falling for the wrong people. Okay, or some type of codependency or addictions. And this card's saying, like, just relax. You are already on the best path for you. Trust that all of these experiences that you've had are leading you somewhere and are leading you to this person, okay? And I think this is a really powerful thing that you can tell the universe or God or spirit, whatever you want to call it. Say, use me for the greatest love. Give me relationships that are such a good example of what healthy love should look like for the world. And when you tell the universe, like, use me to show the world what love should look like, they're gonna bring you this amazing relationship, okay? So pause the video, do that now. Talk to the universe, ask them to do that. Don't ask for anything else, just say, use me to show the world, you know, what love looks like. Okay, so some signs that we have Aries and Leo, two fire signs. So this is a fiery person. They might have Aries or Leo in their like sun, moon, rising, Venus, or in their chart generally, but they don't have to. This could be just that they have these types of traits. So with Aries, this is a very energetic sign. Honestly, every time I met an Aries, they were always so full of life and energy and talked real fast and used all types of hand motions, and you know, it represents the start of the zodiac. It represents like a new beginning. Aries are also a cardinal sign, so they're always coming up with great ideas. So this is somebody who might, you know, have all these great ideas for dates and what you guys can do with your lives. Or they just might be the type of person who's always doing projects around the house. I don't know why I just visualized that, but that's something I see. Like, they're always like looking to start a new project, looking to change something up, looking to go to a new place. You know what I mean? Like, they're a little bit restless. I'm getting a restless energy from them, but in a positive way, you know, positivity. This is somebody who's so full of life that they are always wanting to do the next thing. I don't know why, I'm also getting quite a fast moving vibe from this person here. So out of all the piles we did so far, a lot of the messages that were coming up were that, you know, it was very slower moving and to remain patient. For you guys, I feel like this person, this relationship is faster moving. Okay, this person might want to move things along quite quickly. With Leo here, Leo is a very fun sign. So Leo is the sign of children and entertainment and sports and, you know, all those types of like fun things. Okay, so this person might have children, they might want children or pets, okay, or they really enjoy like entertainment with you, especially competitive entertainment, whether it's something as simple as chess or board games or something more like sports. They might be a fan of sports, they might be a fan of like, or just a competitive person in general. But this person has so much energy, okay? Like they're visibly energetic, okay? When you meet them, they're probably going to be moving their eyes around real fast, talking with their hands, you know, just, you know, really awake. Oh. But I love it because their energy is kind of like the sun. It's very uplifting for you and it will lift you out of your darkness. Oh man. So we have self-love and optimism. Yeah, again, that word optimism, positivity, it's their vibe, okay? They're the type of person who's gonna be like, everything's gonna be fine, we're all gonna be good, you know? And I feel like this person low-key is a really good leader because they have this positivity and they have this graceful way of overcoming challenges. I feel like low-key, they're really good at leading people. So in their friend group, they might be the one always saying, oh, we should do this, we should do that, we should get together this day, that day. Or, you know, if they have a family of their own, you know, they're really good at like being the leader there. Like they might have like this energy about them that makes them like the social glue in their connections. Or, you know, they might be a bit of a like emotional leader in their family. If their family has any issues that need to be discussed, they're the ones to be like, okay guys, let's sit down and talk about this, you know, like I don't know, they have like low-key very good leadership energy. We have rest and relaxation. Yeah, okay, you know what I'm seeing here? So I've met somebody like this before where they have all this energy, they talk a lot, they, you know, just are on, you know, but then when they sleep, it's like they're dead, okay? Or when they're resting and relaxing, it's like really hardcore. So this person has like a very big swing between moods, but not like in a bad way, just more so like they're either focusing on 20 things at a time and going up 100 miles a minute, or they're like dead asleep. I'm not getting out of the couch at all. Like that's just their two modes, which is so funny. That's just a little quirk of theirs though. It's nothing to be worried about, okay? It's just a part of who they are. Definitely not a monotone person. You ever meet somebody and they have like a really monotone voice and they're just very calm and even keeled? Like that's not this person. They're either screaming in your face out of passion and excitement and being super positive, or they are not getting off that couch whatsoever. Okay, but it's gonna be balanced. It's not gonna be like you're mad at it or anything like that. In fact, you might enjoy that aspect of them. We have reconsider. We have improving health. Okay, this is interesting. So I don't know why I see this as like some of you guys might doubt the relationship at first, or you might doubt when you guys first start seeing each other, or maybe this might be a situation where you meet each other and you don't even have romantic feelings for them. Like they might be a friend or acquaintance, and at some point along the way you're like, you know what? That person's actually pretty cute. I'm starting to get a little butterflies in my tummy when I'm around them. Like, should we explore this feeling? Like, there's going to be a point in your relationship, somehow, some way, where you kind of reconsider the dynamic here and look at them in a different light. Positively, okay? And then when you finally do start dating, you know, I personally think that early dating is a difficult, vulnerable, delicate time in relationships because it can all fall apart so quickly, right? So I feel like there might be times where you're just like, is this the one for me? Like, should I commit? Group number 4 are we on? I feel like you might be the one here who has a hard time just trusting, and kind of, you might be dealing with commitment issues, or like you might just, I don't know what it is, like maybe have a fear of abandonment or something like that, because this true offering card and the reconsider card's coming out. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting the next step will always be shown. So I feel like the issue here is that you might get a little anxious in connections or avoidant in connections, and that might be something that you learn through this relationship, because at the end of the day, relationships are just mirrors into your own soul, and they reflect to you the healing that you need to do within yourself. Every single relationship will help you heal something within yourself, and I feel like what this connection is doing is helping you heal this anxiety, and learn how to trust the universe and just kind of trust the flow of things, and just trust where this relationship is headed, and trust your feelings, trust your intuition, even if it might not logically make sense on the surface. Also, with improving health, I feel like this is the type of beautiful connection that improves over time, which is my favorite types of relationships. They age like fine wine, right? So in the beginning of this connection, it might be very iffy. You might have a lot of fears. You might be like not 100% certain if this is the person for you, but over time, like, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer, like, yes, this is the one for me. And as you age together, it's like you only love each other more and more and more, because you gain all these memories with this person and all these experiences with them that you can look back on. So it's only going to get better over time. This person, there might be an aspect about them as well that really encourages you to take care of your own health. So, like, for example, maybe they're really into fitness and you've never really been into like fitness or sports, but then by being around them so much, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try it, and you actually enjoy it. Or like maybe they bully you into like going to doctors and taking care of your health or taking care of your mental health. So I feel like because of this relationship, you're a better person, they are a better person, and it's really pleasant. You have a pleasant connection here. Okay, we have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. I feel like you guys might be a little bit fearful when it comes to expressing your emotions to this person. We have keep an open mind. Yes, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and that's why we have reconsidered. Like, it's almost like, oh, do I have feelings for that person? Because for some reason, this person isn't normally the type of person you would go after, or maybe you just never would have thought you would have ended up with this person. I mean, I have this situation as well. The person I'm with right now, we were friends for like a year, and I did not see them in a romantic way at all. In fact, I didn't really like them when I first met them. But then, like, I don't know what happened. Like, after a couple, like several months, I'm just like, oh, huh. Yeah, I think I might like them. And then we even like dated for a couple months, and still I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I just kind of trusted the plan, went with the flow, and it has taken me in so many different directions that I thought I would have never went in with this person. And also, we did reconsider the relationship at several points. We changed the dynamic of the relationship. We changed different rules, I guess you could say, of the relationship and roles, and so that's kind of what you're going to be experiencing as well. And then we also have deception. Somebody is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. This could be you or the other person. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I think this is first off, it could be you, because I feel like this is more so like deception of, when you're first starting to get to know somebody and you're just trying to impress them and you're not sharing your feelings with them. Like, that's what I'm seeing here, and that will naturally go away over time. I think time will really help you both take off your masks and really show each other the fullest, most authentic versions of you. Okay, so let's shuffle up these cards and get some clarifiers. What do you want clarified, group number 4? I want to know what that deception card's about. So where does the deception lie in this relationship? Why did the deception card come out? Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh, they always fall onto the floor. Okay, a few cards came out. We have the 4 of Swords. This is a card of rest and relaxation. So again, that's another element here. You guys might really enjoy just like laying down and taking naps together, or just like snuggling, or just watching TV. There's like a lazy element to this relationship that's very rejuvenating. We have strength. Yeah, this is sharing your emotions. So the deception here is, trying to, I feel like in the beginning of this connection, you're going to try to avoid your emotions towards this person, or just try to like put them to rest. But at some point in time, you're going to have to be more confident, assertive, and really share these emotions, and have that Leo energy of confidence and just going with the flow of your emotions. We have the Knight of Coins. This has to do with pacing, and I feel like somebody in this connection, and I feel like this person actually really wants to take things a lot faster than they might show, if that makes sense. once. Like they might want to move things forward very rapidly with you, but because they're trying to maintain this cool, calm, collected image to you at first, they might take things a bit more slowly than they are comfortable with. We also have Judgment reversed. Group number 4, I'm not gonna lie, I think you are gonna have your doubts about this connection. I think you're gonna have some doubts in the beginning of this connection, not knowing if this is the one for you. Maybe, okay, if we're gonna get really blunt, really real here, maybe you, like this person, you're not 100% like physically attracted to, or you're not 100% sure if it'll work out in the long term for whatever reason, and that has you questioning everything. That's some real tea right there. But honestly, like, we have to have these hard discussions. You know, we have to be like the strength here and have these hard discussions and really ask ourselves, like, is that even important in a long-term relationship where our physical bodies are changing so often anyways? Like, it's really not as important as you might think. And also, there's going to be so many different times in this connection that you might kind of change things up or reconsider certain aspects of the connection. So relationships are always shifting and changing. So I don't know, I feel like the deception that's going on here is you might be hiding some of the doubts that you have with this person at first. Okay, interesting. Wow, that's interesting. All right, thank you guys for joining me. That's your reading. But you know, this is a pick a card reading that's saying your future spouse, so it's obviously all going to work out in the end, but the future is in your hands. You can change anything. You do not have to follow this path at all. Your decisions change your entire reality, your entire course of life. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 5. You selected this card, so let's see who your future spouse is. They are being represented by the Cobra. Nice. So this is fire energy, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but they don't have to be that sign. This is just somebody who's very warm, very much lively and of the earth. That's how I view fire energy, is very much like enjoying different cultures, enjoying life, enjoying people, arts, music, all that good stuff. Very much into the culture, into the world. So anyways, the Cobra spirit is very interesting because this is the type of person who is very calculating. You know, they see something that they like and they really take their time analyzing the fullness of the situation. They may take their time really getting to know whether or not they should proceed forward with you, really looking at you fully and getting a good understanding of your feelings for them, if you are somebody they can see themselves with. And then once they make that decision, like, yes, this is the person for me, they go like a cobra. You know, think of a cobra standing up, really evaluating anything that's of danger to it or anything that they're interested in. This is Luna. Hi, Luna. And you know, once they've made that decision, like, oh, this is dangerous, I need to protect myself, they, boom, bite you, okay? Now, think of that same concept, but with feelings. Really analyzing someone, getting to know you, taking their time in the dating process, and then once they're like, yep, this is my future husband slash wife, it's like, boom, suddenly things are very forward moving, very quick. This is a very calculating individual, and that's not a bad thing, guys. I know we always like use the word cold and calculating together, but I don't think they're cold or calculating like in a negative way. It's just more so they want to take their time and really logically understand you, understand the relationship, and make the best decision for them. But once they make that decision, they're all in. And they're not going to go back on their word. They're not going to go back on that decision. So yes, they might be a little bit frustrating in the beginning of this relationship if you are the type of person who doesn't want to wait, but once they're in, they're in. So I really like that about them. We have body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. So I don't know why I get images of this person going through massive transformation when it comes to their appearance. So they might have a very prominent scar on their body, or they might be somebody who went through like a massive weight loss journey, or maybe they were really frail and skinny looking, and now they're like extremely into fitness and ripped, you know. There's something about their body that they have a special relationship with, if that makes sense. And it might have taken this person some time to really love and accept their body for what it is. I feel like there is a very physical component to this person that is important to them, that they had to come to terms with. It could be something as simple as like maybe they went bald and they had to come to terms with like being a hot bald daddy, you know, like something as simple as that, or something very noticeable like a giant scar on their arm or their face, or massive changes and transformations to their body. There's just a body element here in this connection. So pay attention to that. We have self-love. Yeah, they go hand in hand. Show me how to love myself. Show me how to take care of the inner child. Show me how to be kind within. When you step into self-forgiveness, so much can change on the outside. There is a theme, an element of this relationship where you guys are going to come together in your fullest, most divine nature when you both can accept your body for what it is. There might be some type of gap in your physical bodies that might make one or both of you insecure. Like, for example, if you are in a heterosexual relationship, if you are the female in that relationship and you're taller than your partner, you know, society tells us, oh, men should be tall, blah, blah, blah. Women should be short and dainty. But it's like, you actually are going to come together and have this power relationship and not give a crap about what anybody else has to say. Or maybe there's going to be like a big difference in your appearance or just your overall activity level. But it's almost like a very powerful thing because you can really show the world, like, it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter. Also, some of you guys might be in like an interracial marriage or relationship in this connection, which, you know, a lot of very conservative people would frown upon and be like, oh, that's not morally correct. But who the heck cares? You don't. Okay, this is a loving connection. That's why you're getting married. So that might be something that you have to come to terms with in your relationship, okay? But like, you're going to be stronger because of it, because you realize like love transcends all physical gaps, all differences, right? Well, at least most of them. Sagittarius energy is coming out. Yeah, this kind of resonates with that Cobra energy of being of the world, okay? So this is somebody who really enjoys culture, music, travel, or anything very much like in the times, you know? Like, they like to be a part of the world. I like to think of people as time travelers, right? So you're kind of just, you know, this infinite soul, this timeless soul, and you selected to come into this earth, into this world, into this reality at this time period. So kind of treat it like a museum, you know? Be like, oh, let me experience what life is like in 2022 as this type of person, you know what I mean? So that's how I'm kind of viewing this person and how they approach their life. They're just like, let me just enjoy life and, you know, see what this time period has to offer. We have Scorpio energy. Okay, so this is two signs that are right next to each other. They might be on the cusp of Scorpio and Sagittarius, but they don't have to be. Scorpio is a water sign. This is a fire sign. I love Scorpio energy, guys. I am weirdly attracted to Scorpios. Like, I have a ton of Scorpios in my life. They are very like loyal people, like die-hard fans of those closest to them, okay? It's almost like, you know, when it comes to acquaintances, I feel like Scorpios can be a little bit, not off-putting, but it's just like they very much prioritize the people who are very closest to them, you know? Like, they have one best friend usually, and that best friend is like their ride or die for the rest of their lives. One partner, and that partner is like theirs, you know? So this is somebody who really like only shows their true colors and their most beautiful, vulnerable aspects of themselves to you, and maybe like their best friend, you know, maybe a close family member, but like that is it. So that's a quality they have. They don't have to actually be a Scorpio, but I see that quality amongst them. Like, they really only fully open up on such a deep level to their one person that's close with them, right? And, you know, with the Sagittarius energy here as well, I feel like this person is kind of like interesting when it comes to their social life, because they have like their one partner and like maybe one other person they're close with, but then like all of their friends aren't really necessarily friends. They're more so acquaintances. So I have a feeling like this might be a connection where they kind of are just their own little individual, and you know, they might not have a lot of their own friends or like a lot of their own community, because they're kind of the type of person who kind of just bumbles about life, doing their own thing, traveling, you know. And so their friends might be like literally at a distance from them, or they might be just, you know, very casual friendships, right? So they're gonna really put a large importance on this relationship. So that's very interesting. And I feel like your friends might become their friends as well. Okay, like there's this nice enmeshed energy with this relationship. We have preparing for the future, and we have connecting to your roots. Okay, so I feel like one major component of this marriage is going to be how much fun you guys have really talking about what you're gonna do in the future. You know, maybe you plan on buying a house or having kids, having family, traveling. Like that's gonna be such a really good, important element to this connection. You know, some people don't like doing that. They like really just relaxing in the present moment, but other people get really excited planning trips and planning the future. So I feel like that's this person. They have a very Sagittarius like energy where they get really excited and giddy like a child about, you know, all the different things they can do in the future now that they have a partner, now that they have a life partner. Like, oh my gosh, we can do this, we can do that. So it's very sweet, it's very beautiful. And I almost feel like I'm getting this energy that they might not have been a person that thought they were ever going to get married or have a long-term partner, because I do feel like they struggled with their insecurity a little bit, or maybe they dealt with a lot of rejection in their life. And so they're just eternally grateful that you are going to enter their life, honestly. Like they would have, and they're going to tell you this at some point, that they never thought they would have found somebody that would accept them for who they are and who would want to spend the rest of their life with them, you know? So I'm getting a lot of gratitude from this person for you. Connecting to your roots is interesting. So this shows me that you guys might have like a similar background in some way, shape, or form. Whether you come from like the same area or hometown, or maybe you talk about your pasts and you'll notice that they like very interestingly line up with each other. Like for example, you both might be the oldest sibling of 3 brothers, or you both might have had an experience where, you know, you were raised by a single father or something. Like there's gonna be weird synchronicities between how you were both raised that are gonna be very similar. And that's why there's gonna be a sense of familiarity between the two of you, because you both have similar pasts. So it's almost like, oh my gosh, I met this person who, you know, I can relate to. I don't have to over-explain myself, like they get me. So that's kind of how this relationship takes off. It's just the sense of comfortability and understanding and just really getting each other in a way that nobody else gets them and gets you. So it's really great. We have, it's up to you. This is the angels reminding you that you have free will. There's something better. It's up to you and there's something better. Okay. So this is an interesting combination here. I feel like some people who selected this pile might have recently gotten out of a relationship, or you might even honestly be in a relationship that you are questioning at this time. And both of these cards are saying, like, guys, you have free will. Who you choose to spend your lifetime with is honestly up to you. Because, you know, I know a lot of people have the belief that we have one soulmate and like that's it. But like I personally, how I see things in the spirit realm is that our souls are so infinite. We have spent thousands of different lifetimes, you know, like our souls have spent thousands of different lifetimes with different people. We know a lot of souls, and you have more than one soulmate. You know, I think the concept of having only like one true soulmate is very weird to me, because it's just like, so if I keep, you know, going into the afterlife and choosing to be reincarnated, like I only get to know this one soul. I feel like if you only knew one soul, one person, and that was like always your person, you wouldn't really do much soul growth and expansion, because everything will just be familiar in your comfort zone and you'll never really learn and grow. And plus, that just doesn't work out normally. Like most people in life have more than one relationship all throughout their life. You know, it might not work out with somebody, but then you find somebody and you want to get married. Like that's how we grow, that's how we learn. So I definitely don't believe in the concept of, you know, one true love or one soulmate. I definitely agree with what the angels are saying here, and saying like, it really is up to you what soulmate you choose to spend your lifetime with. And it really depends on how much soul growth and learning and self-love you experience. Like, I have a firm belief that, you know, if you spend your life in your comfort zone and you never really do much learning or healing, like, yeah, you might end up with somebody and have a very mediocre or bad marriage, all right? But that doesn't mean they're not your soulmate. It just means, you know, that's who you settled on. Whereas if you do a lot of self-growth, a lot of self-love, you can really find yourself a relationship that's healthy and loving, and one that's going to always be filled with passion and excitement. So I think these cards are the angels just kind of reminding you guys that it is in your control. It's not as up to destiny as you think it is. A lot of people start losing faith because they're just like, oh, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Universe, God, whatever, like, why aren't you giving me my soulmate? Why aren't you giving me my my marriage partner? And it's just like, you have to understand that you are the universe, you are God, you are spirit in your own way, and they are you. You know, you're intermeshed. So you have free will to go out and meet people, talk to new people, really work on yourself, and make sure that you are in a place where you are ready for love, available for love, have room for love, and are attracting it like a magnet to you. You know, you have that free will, and you need to take more assertive action when it comes to your love life. Some of you guys, you know, might be in a relationship that you really don't even like, and these cards are saying, like, listen, Linda, like, you don't have to stay here, okay? If your intuition is saying, you know, it might be time to move on, maybe listen to that. Or if, you know, if you are in a relationship and you're like, you know what, I think this is the one for me, and you're looking for that confirmation, like, this is saying, like, do what you want to do. Your spirit guides, the universe, is never going to tell you what to do. You have free will in this lifetime. Your choices are yours alone. This life is a journey of self-growth, and it's a spiritual playground where you can make your life whatever you want it to be. So it's really up to you who you choose to marry. We have Let Your Friends Help You. This is a really good card because, you know, I feel like sometimes our friends are some of the best mirrors when it comes to our relationships. Like, because, you know, our hormones as humans, as animals, really go off the walls when we meet a compatible sexual partner, right? Like, that is your natural biology being like, yes, we can reproduce with this person, so let's make you obsessed with them, fall in love with them, have all these feelings, so that you can procreate and keep the human species alive. So sometimes it can be really hard to read the red flags, or read if they're a good person and we're overthinking it, or read if our traumas are getting in the way of us trusting them. And your friends are a nice, objective group of people that can really, you know, meet this person, meet this respective partner, and help you understand, like, you know what, this is a really good person, please don't sabotage it, or, you know, this person is a piece of garbage, let go, okay? But the thing is, and if you trust your friends and you trust their judgment and know that they're good, intelligent people, then obviously you should trust their opinions on that. But also with this, if you're single, this card is showing me that, you know, how you might meet this person is through your friends, one way or another. So for example, somebody that I met, I wasn't with my friends when I met them. You know, I didn't meet them through my friend group. However, I was at their house, we were talking about boys and stuff, and, you know, I was, you know, talking to this person online, and my friend was like really encouraging it and saying, what are they saying now? Or you should say this, or you should do that. And if I didn't have my friend there, I probably would have ended up like not really responding that well, and probably wouldn't have been as bold as I could have been. So your friends are gonna play an important role in how you guys meet one way or another, whether they, you know, go out with you one night and you see someone really cute and they talk to you, or you talk to them and your friends are like really hyping it up. Or whether you know, have a story like mine, or maybe you even meet them through your friends in your group. There's all different types of scenarios, but this is really showing us that your friends play an important role in your love life. So if you're feeling single and looking for love, spend more time with the people you love. And that's a really good piece of spiritual advice as well. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in, you know, what we don't have, which might be a romantic relationship, and Spirit's kind of saying, like, be grateful for the love that is in your life. And that love is there through your friendships, through your family, or whoever it is that you spend time with that make you feel less alone. Spend more time with them, and through that you will meet your soulmate. Okay, we have Retreats. It is time to disconnect from the world. This is going to be a big part of this connection. I feel like this person is somebody who likes to travel or go on vacation or just go on little getaways, weekend trips, and that's going to be a really fun thing that you guys enjoy with each other. And then we also have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I don't know why. I feel like some people who selected this group might be a little bit older, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh, is it too late for me to get married? Is it too late for me to have kids? Blah, 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 blah. And Spirit is saying no. And honestly, some of the best love in life happens when we do wait and take the time to work on ourselves, to get our lives together, and to let the relationship unfold naturally. And so your animalistic hormones might be like, where's this at? Ah, you know? Because that is your natural biological clock saying time to reproduce. Even if you don't want kids, like that's just a natural thing that happens, right? We get impatient when it comes to love. But this is saying like the truest, most deepest and healthy love comes when we are patient, when we let it unfold in natural divine timing. We don't try rushing it or pushing it. So yeah. And also guys, this card changed my life before and has changed the lives of so many people in situations where, you know, you're getting a little impatient when you're getting to know somebody or dating somebody. This card will come out and be like, listen, like if you really like this person, they are worth waiting for. It is worth waiting for this time period of getting to know each other, establishing feelings, and like, you know, letting them really unfold themselves to you. You have to give people a chance in love. I've met a lot of people who give up on, you know, people they're seeing or dating because they're not moving quickly enough for them. And it's like, give people the chance to show you the real them. And once, you know, you see the real them, then take action on whatever they show you. You know what I mean? Like they might show you that they're a great person or a bad person, but I think everybody deserves a fair chance. All right, don't cut people off too soon. Oh, Scorpio went flying away. All right, so let's get some clarifiers here. This is a bit longer than the other readings so far. Okay, a few cards came out. I didn't even ask a specific question, but let's see what they are. 8 of Pentacles reversed. This shows kind of working on your skills, working on your crafts. This is a really good piece of advice if you feel impatient when it comes to your love life, okay? Work on whatever hobbies, skills, talents, career goals that you have in your life. You know, don't let the lack of what you don't have, or like the lack of love that you have, really affect your mental health. Like, no, I think this is a really good card of healthy distraction. You know, work on building your life up as an individual, your skills up as an individual. So if you have like a health goal, work on that. Okay, you might meet your person at the gym, or if you have a goal to learn a new language, you know, take up some language classes. Go on Duolingo, really practice that. Get on some like pen pal language exchange programs or something. You might meet your person through that. Or if you have, I don't know, like you see how it works? Like this is a sign that's saying, instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what's in front of you, the friends you have, the hobbies and skills you have, because that is how you're going to meet this person anyway. And if you lack that self-love, that self-focus, you're never going to meet them, because how would you meet them, you know? If you're just sitting at home doing nothing all day except for worrying about this, then you're never going to be in a situation where you can meet new people. We also have the Sun, which is a really happy and positive card. Also, I want to point out, this is the After Tarot deck, and there is 2 babies here, so I don't know why I'm seeing this as, you know, babies and children might be a part of this relationship in some way. And also this could also just be like fur babies and children. Okay, it doesn't have to be human babies, although I don't know why human babies are really sticking out to me here. Sorry if anyone didn't want kids, but you know, people change their minds. So we see there's an image there for that. Also, this is a very deep message for some people, but I feel like there's one person watching that has 2 babies who are in spirit saying hello, we're still here, we're, you know, sending you joyous moments all of the time. And whenever you have like random funny things or random joyful moments happen, we're sending you that, and we, you know, love you. Okay, so that's a very beautiful message for whoever needed to hear that. And then we have the 10 of Cups reversed, and if we see here again, a big family of children, a house. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. We see a long-term relationship here. They're surrounded by 3 kids, a cat, like I said, fur babies, doesn't have to be human babies, a beautiful home with land. Like, this is the goal here, and the stars represent dreams coming true. And the 10 of Cups is the card of ultimate happiness. In reverse, it shows that this is coming for you. This is your future. It's not too late. It's worth waiting for. Even if, I feel like some people here have this worry in their mind, even if you do want kids and you feel like you're getting too old to have them, there are other means that you can go about getting kids. And you know, your spirit guides really want to say, like, when somebody has a relationship with you, like mother and daughter or son, or father and daughter or son, you know, like when you have a parent and child relationship, it really truly does not matter whether or not you're like genetically related to them, because in spirit it's the same anyways. You know, in spirit the dynamic of our relationships aren't physical, you know what I mean? So like if you have a best friend that's like a brother to you, in spirit they are your brother, you know what I mean? So in spirit they are your child. So I think your spirit guides are saying, like, if that is a problem, like infertility and you wanting kids, and that's been something weighing heavily on your mind, it really, I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you can't grieve that and you can't feel bad, but I am telling you that I feel like your dream of doing that is going to come true, and it will be worth waiting for, and it will be more than anything that you could have possibly imagined. You're going to get this wish fulfilled, is what I'm saying, one way or another. And you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say like you're not allowed to be upset, but like I am saying, like, I feel like your tears are premature, okay? Because you are gonna get this, and this is gonna be a beautiful thing. I really hate giving baby and fertility predictions in readings, because I know not everybody is interested in that, but I'm just saying when I see this future spouse, I see lots of love. It's like the love that you guys have together has no choice but to, you know, manifest in other ways, through children, through pets, through a beautiful radiant garden. It's almost like the love energy that you share with each other, the prosperity energy that you share with each other, has no choice but to reflect itself in your physical environment and all around you. And so this connection itself is like a gravitational force that will make prosperity grow all around you, okay? So big house, big dreams, big money, big children, I don't know. It's just a very beautiful connection, okay? And it's worth waiting for. I know a lot of you guys are feeling frustrations for whatever reason. It could be that, you know, you're already dating and seeing somebody who is your future spouse, but, you know, it's just a slower moving connection. Or it is, you know, this idea of, you know, where is it? So it's all gonna be fine, guys. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys for joining me. Bye. Group number 6, you selected this tarot card. So let's find out who your future spouse is. They're being represented by the shark. Ooh, water energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, but they don't have to be water. The shark is a very interesting spirit animal. This shows a fierceness, a fearlessness, a authority, and quick, swift movements with this person. I am getting like they might work for corporate or in that field, or like there's just something about their energy where they're like a survivor, and there's a seriousness about their energy where they really just go for what they want in life and don't look back, don't hold back. They may or may not have a history of maybe not being the nicest person, but they are being represented as your future spouse. So maybe they have come to terms with that and turned their shark-like qualities from, you know, being like saying that they were a predator sounds really bad, but like being somebody who, you know, gets what they want and maybe not really took into consideration other people's feelings. Maybe they come to terms with that, healed from that, empathized with that, and now there's somebody who can have those qualities but in a more light regard, you know, becoming a nice, like, swift business person, or, you know, having a lot of ambition, moving quickly along in life and really going after what they want. And now they can use those traits for good rather than for, you know, just their own selfish purposes, if that makes sense. So let's see what their other cards have to say. I want to clarify this shark energy in a bit though. We have Sanctuary, beautiful card. A sanctuary resides inside you no matter what is happening. This inner temple beckons you to enter. Take a deep breath, enter, and sit down on the throne of your own heart. I feel like your relationship with this person is going to be really cool, because I feel like for whatever reason, they might have like a stressful job, or they might have a, you know, a hard life, there's just an energy about your connection where you both kind of do your own thing in life, and then when you're together, it's very peaceful, it's very relaxed, you know? This is somebody you can relax around, let your guard down, and just breathe, you know? I'm almost seeing like this weird cartoonish vision of a shark, and you know, when they're out and about, they have to look really tough, and they have to, you know, really put on this tough, fierce front, but then when they go back to their little shark family, you know, it's like they hang their hat up, they're like, oh, thank God that's over. Honey, I'm home, like let's relax on the couch. Like it's so weird and interesting, but I feel like that's kind of their energy for whatever reason. They might have like a very prestigious job or something where they aren't really allowed to speak their opinions that often, or you know, or maybe they have like a very serious job, you know, like for example, they might work in like a funeral home where they have to be very solemn and like helpful all day long, and it's not until they get home that they can really let their hat off and just have fun, you know what I mean? Or like maybe, I don't know, maybe they're like a lawyer or some type of like elite business professional. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this person. There's something about their job or their day-to-day life where they almost have to put on a mask and be this very serious person, but when they're with you, they can be silly, they can be free, and just very beautiful and have fun. We also have loneliness. Aww. It says, when you stop fearing aloneness, you stop settling for less than you deserve. May I embrace and love my solitude, and that's when kindred spirits can finally come. This card personally changed my life because there was a time in my life where I was surrounded by people who were not good for me, and I stayed around them because I was like, oh well, it's better to be around these people than being alone. And I was so frustrated, though. I did a reading and this card came out and really showed me that if I just embraced my aloneness and really like had fun by myself and learned to enjoy my alone time, then I'll have the space in my life for people who are better for me to come in. But if I kept hanging around the wrong types of people, I would never have time in my schedule or like emotional bandwidth to meet new people who are better for me. So this loneliness card is actually quite a blessing to get, and it really gives you the wisdom and knowledge that, you know, you should embrace your solitude, embrace your alone time, as opposed to hanging around the wrong types of people. You know, there might be a story in you guys meeting where maybe you were afraid of being alone, so you stayed in a relationship that wasn't fulfilling for a long time. Maybe you are married already, and now this obviously isn't going to resonate with every single one of you, but like maybe you were married already and you know, you were staying in that relationship out of fear of aloneness, but you weren't really fulfilled, and then you finally like bit the bullet, got divorced, freed yourself and embraced your solitude, and then it was really allowing you to meet this person who really feels like sanctuary to you, who really feels like the comforting balm that heals your tired hands at the end of a long day. Yeah, there's a nice calmness about this connection where, you know, there's two people who have dealt with a lot in life and you come together and you can just have this beautiful connection with each other. But I feel like once you stop being afraid of loneliness, that's when they can come in. And also there's an element about this person that does feel a little bit lonely, you know, maybe they had a hard time meeting people, or maybe they really prioritized their careers or something else in their life. They didn't want to spend so much time dating and putting themselves out there. And, you know, they're like, you know what, I am kind of lonely. Like, maybe I should start meeting new people, and that's how you're gonna meet, you know? So that might be your love story there. Now, you guys are the only ones that only had one card come out for zodiac, and it is Libra. So they might be a Libra, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or they just have a lot of Libra qualities about them. Libra is literally the sign of relationships, and this is every Libra that I've met has taken relationships extremely seriously, okay? Like, this is somebody who really, their happiness and their relationships are one and the same, you know what I mean? So as a single person, they might have really just not enjoyed themselves that much. They might feel very lonely. You know, this is the type of person who might not have that many friends, and they view their partner as like their best friend, and, you know, I don't want to say their sole source of happiness, because that's not very healthy, but like, you know, as their partner in life. This is somebody who views you as two partners in crime, you know, like it's really a very awesome type of connection where you guys are like best friends and lovers and spouses, and it's just like us versus the world type of energy, you know? And you guys can really truly be yourselves together. and find sanctuary in that. And I feel like you won't ever have to really worry about this person cheating or anything like that, because they give off this energy of being a little bit awkward, being a little bit like not that social. You know, I'm getting like lone wolf vibes here, but not in like a creepy way, more so in just like a, I don't know. It's like they really get a lot of joy out of having like one person in their life that knows them best. And then, you know, of course they have their other friends or whatnot, but you know, I feel like they're really a relationship person, if that makes sense. You know, they really enjoy having that one partner that they really love. We have learning and teaching. So you're gonna learn and teach in this connection, and saying goodbye. Yeah, yes, this and loneliness go hand in hand. Your love story involves you saying goodbye to people who are not worth your time, energy, and effort, guys. Like, you'll meet this person when you have space in your life to meet them. When you stop pretending like you fit in with a certain group of people that you don't even like. You know, when you stop fearing being alone. I feel like this is a beautiful connection because you guys meet at a time in your life where you feel like you really do need more love in your life. You know, you've said goodbye to those individuals. You might start to feel a little bit lonely, maybe, one of you. Or both of you, and it's just like very beautiful. This has like a resonancy of like you meet at a time when you both really need love and affection. You both are craving that intimacy, and you both have had gone through some difficult processes of like letting go of relationships that just weren't fulfilling. You both have a story where you had to break up with somebody or break up with certain friends because you just weren't compatible. You know what I mean? You just weren't similar, and it was a hard thing to do because you didn't want to experience this loneliness, but at the same time you have more peace in your life even when you're alone and just able to be your true genuine self than you would if you're surrounded by a group of people and you have to put on a mask. And so that's what is so beautiful about this connection. You're both gonna understand that like you are with a person where you can be your true authentic self and you don't have to put on a mask. Like that's the biggest theme of this relationship that will make you both fall in love with each other. And you'll also learn and teach a lot from each other a lot. Or, you know, this might be a component of one or both of your lives. Like they might be a teacher, for example. I did see teacher in that, when I had that like little vision earlier of them having like a job where they have to like put on a front. Like they have to put on that tough teacher front. And, you know, obviously like not say anything weird in front of their students or be silly in front of their students. They can't be like their full adult self when you're a teacher, right? So that might be like another profession that this person might have. They have like a very traditional, I feel like most people who selected this group, this spouse has a very traditional job where they do have to be very professional is what I'm saying. So yeah, there's a big component of learning and teaching in their life. They might also be going to school themselves, or you know, you just learn a lot from each other in general, all right? That might be something you enjoy doing, like learning something and then excitedly telling each other about it. All right, we have be assertive. Yeah, go after love, speak your feelings, say your truth. I thought there was a second card there. Don't stop. Yep, go after it. Also, with these cards, I'm saying, like, I'm seeing the message, don't give up on love. Don't think that you're going to be alone forever. That's what I'm feeling from this person. Like, for some reason, they, like, thought they were going to be alone for forever, or, you know, they really were having a hard time finding somebody who just gets them. But you guys are going to, you know, find each other and have that little us against the world type of moment. Very beautiful. Keep on going. Don't give up on love. Especially if you've been, like, you know, really just trying to put yourself out there and meet new people, and you're just meeting douchebags or people that you don't resonate with. These two cards are really trying to get you to not give up, because you are going to have to go through a lot of rejection or a lot of, like, you know, kiss, as my mom would say, you're gonna have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince, okay? Like, there's a lot of people in the world, and so the majority of those people you are not going to be compatible with. So don't settle for less than you deserve, and don't give up too soon on, like, for example, if you go on like a dating app or website and, you know, you match with like 3 people and they don't work out, like, that's nothing. Keep looking, all right? It's okay. And also, if you do find somebody that you find a little interesting, or, you know, for some reason you feel like you should keep talking to them, you know, again, don't give up on that person. You know, let it unfold, let it really explore those feelings and see why you have those feelings and why you feel drawn to this person, you know. So many people give up on relationships prematurely, all right? So yeah, those are your tips from the angels. We also have look at that. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. That is literally exactly what I just said. Give this person a chance. Give the relationship a chance to unfold. Some of you guys might be the type of person who, you know, you did have to go through this process of cutting people out of your life because you weren't compatible. And now it's almost like, you know, you do it very easily now. You know, you're not afraid to cut someone off and be like, oh, well, this is too much work, like, bye. You know, if you feel like somebody is genuinely a good person, you have this like interest in them, this curiosity about them, explore that feeling, let it unfold fully, you know, like don't cut them off right away, because oftentimes the beginning of relationships, when you're in that dating, getting to know each other phase, it can be a little frustrating, it can test your patience a little bit. So like, don't give up prematurely on that. Honestly, when it comes to healthy relationships, they really do get better over time. So it's like when you're strangers, there's nothing. And then when you're just dating, it's like, you know, there might be some frustrations, there might be some laying down your boundaries, getting to know each other, and really like learning how to enmesh your energies together and, you know, compromise where compromise is needed. But like once you're like comfortable with that person and moving forward, and we're talking like years into connections, like it's so beautiful. So this card's saying like, don't give up when you find somebody you like. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Yeah, so I think how we were raised has an effect on how we approach our relationships for sure. And so you guys watching might want to think about that and think about how your parents or guardians or childhood has really sculpted how you approach and view relationships. And then we have flirt. Yep, extend your lighthearted energy to others. Don't be afraid to flirt. Don't be afraid to be assertive. With this card and with that card, you know, if you really find somebody attractive, go ahead and talk to them. You know, it doesn't matter, like gender roles, gender norms, who cares? If you are a female heterosexual and you want to go talk to a guy, but you don't want to come off as like eager or whatever, like no, shut up and just do it. All right, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes, you know, especially with these loan shark type of people, they might be really uncomfortable or shy with just approaching people. So don't be afraid to be assertive if you have your eye on somebody. You never know what can happen. Be confident in yourself. So some clarifiers here. We have the Three of Swords, and it did come out in reverse. So this shows healing involved with this connection, overcoming some of those, you know, that loneliness, overcoming some relationships or friendships that you had to end in the past. We have the Six of Wands. So this is an interesting one. We see, I never use this deck, guys. We see somebody running forward and we see some wands coming down here. This is a card of popularity and success, and it's almost giving me the message like, I think you'd be surprised by how big your life can change if you just take that leap of faith and be assertive, you know? Like if you find somebody cute, tell them that they're cute. If you see somebody that you like, you know, let them know. Like I think you'd be surprised by how your life can completely change by saying one simple hello to somebody. And you know, you could be a lot more successful than you realize. Then we also have the Sun, which is just pure happiness and love and creativity. You know, I feel like the nature of this relationship is that you both view each other as the sun, as this warm, comforting person that you can come home to. And that's really what relationships should be. I think, you know, with the Sun card and with the healing family issues, you might have had some connections in your life where you were so used to it being dramatic or having to wear a false mask in the connection. And I think this is really going to teach you that no, actually relationships are supposed to be a place where you feel comfortable and loved and good. Otherwise, what's the point? And so I really love this. I love the nature of this connection. I think this is a safe space for you to both really just be amazed at what can happen when you're both approaching relationships in a healthy way, you know, because I feel like you both might have some history with either like closing yourself off or not having healthy connections. So when you meet each other and have this, it's just gonna feel so different and so beautiful. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you for the next reading. Bye.